You know, this is an absolute dream come true for me. A few years ago, while the interior and exterior improvements were being made to this beautiful building, and I think you all can remember when it looked more like a bumblebee than it did a courthouse. Anyway, my daughter Cindy and I were visiting out here one day, and I was trying to figure out if there was anything we could do to the lawn to make it historical like the building was. And she suggested to me that we could restore the grounds, make them Florida friendly and historically accurate, and save a lot of water and all of that type of thing, and a lot of picking up grasses and mowing and everything. And I thought it was a really, really good idea. So Cindy and a couple of her friends started drawing the plans, you know, and from there, actually, the dream was born. The basics of the grounds is it's a botanical gardens that showcases that showcases the history and dedication of our local heroes and citizens. We also came to the thought that most of the people that come to the courthouse have no idea what a botanical gardens is, and this might give them, if they read the signs on each one of the planting areas, give them an idea of what old Florida was like with the different areas that are native to Florida. We wanted also to show the proper respect to our veterans, our fallen law enforcement officers, and our distinguished citizens that all used to be out here in the front, and we moved it over to the sides, and it's become a memorial plaza. And we hope everybody will get a chance to go over there and take a look at it when we finish. We hope that our visitors feel welcome to linger and learn about Manatee County and its history and what makes it great. And with the placement of the interpretive language signs, we figure the visitors can learn something while they're here. The Manatee County Historical Courthouse and its grounds are the gem of downtown Bradenton, in which we can all take pride, now and decades into the future. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. The ribbon is cut, so to speak, the plant is planted, and I guess I better say one other thing. The really beautiful woman out here in the blue dress is my wife, Carol. That will keep me out of trouble for at least a week. I've always loved history, and when I first came in the office, one of the first things I did was ask the Board of County Commissioners to let me take over the historical parks, which they did. But to me, without history and without a background in at least what's going on in our community, you don't get the full flavor of what Bradenton is. And I was born, believe it or not, 3 blocks from where we sit. So I didn't get very far in life, but I've loved every second of it. We planned it to be the gem of downtown Bradenton, as Mayor Poston is always saying, and I think it will be. It's the middle between the city and the waterfront and the Village of the Arts, and I think it's just going to be gorgeous. We have a historical courtroom, which is the largest courtroom in Manatee County, and it's laid barren. We want to work on getting that restored. On June the 6th, we're going over to Arcadia to look at their historical courtroom, which was actually built by the same builders and architects that did this one. So I'm really excited about that. If we can get that done in the next year, I will be very, very happy. But it's almost a sacred spot when you walk in there. Well, historical things, not just this building and not just the parks, but the Manatee River, the Braden River, Anna Maria Island, and Cortez, all of these places are historical. And to me, the people, it gives them something to hold on to. They know it's theirs, they know, and if they know the history of it, they can have that same feeling that I do, even being born here.
This official discrimination continued until 1908, when the Florida Supreme Court issued an opinion making it illegal to exclude African American men on Florida juries. Women were another matter. Although women won the right to vote in 1920, they were excluded from jury service until 1949. Even then, they had to contact the clerk of court to ask to be included on qualified jury lists. This unequal treatment persisted until 1967, when the Florida legislature changed the law to include women on jury lists.
Working in partnership with the Manatee County Clerk of Courts, Chip Shore, with the help of his staff and his resources, we think we have an answer. We know just because something is new, it does not mean it's better. We also know many judges, mostly of my generation, are not technologically savvy, and they may be slow adapters. So, whatever system was designed, it has to prove itself.
And I'd like to extend to one and all a very warm welcome to the opening of this very, very exciting project. Today is an important day in Manatee County history, and I am so glad that you and I and all of us could be a part of it. We are preserving a piece of our history. I love seeing a part of our past restored for future generations to have and to honor. So many communities have done away with their historical courtrooms, properties, and Manatee County has done an incredible job. Restoring this courtroom is a dream come true for me, a dream a long time in making, would you believe, over 30 years. It's built to the colors that you see here that we discovered during remodeling. But also on the third floor, we will have a small museum which will show the courtroom as it came along. Each year is a little bit different. And the attorneys in Bradenton are bringing us little things that they remember from this courtroom to put in there. So I think that's going to be very interesting. This courtroom was built in 1913, and it's been known as the courtroom, because it was the only one. For those who remember what it used to look like, it was reminiscent of an ugly chamber from 1970s. It had wood paneling, it had gum-laden benches, and a low ceiling and scuffed floors. As a matter of fact, the upper balcony was actually offices. The restoration process has been a true journey of discovery. During demolition, we learned where the original judge's bench and jury box were located, and we were able to obtain the original colors and even discovered an answer to a mystery that has perplexed us for years, and that was how in the world people were able to get into the small balcony up above the judge. There was no entrance as far as we could tell, but after the demolition, we discovered that there was a small circular stairway to get up there. We believe this balcony was used as a security site for the courtroom during murder trials.
Recognizing the historical significance of this building, Mr. Shore worked toward a grand renovation project instead of writing off a major piece of our history. On behalf of the Manatee County Commission, and I have to tell you there are several of us here today, I say congratulations to Mr. Shore, who had the vision for this grand cold courtroom and for the entire restoration project. You've done an incredible job, and you are a model clerk of the court. Manatee County is very blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Today is a very important day, and it's a perfect day for the reopening of this courtroom. And the reason being, it's also Mr. Chip's Shore birthday.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I've just got to tell you that this just wasn't my project. It was everybody's in the courthouse and across the street with the board and with project management. So it was a real team effort. But I love what's happened to it.
You know, Mr. Shore I've gotten to know over the years, and in addition to being, of course, a great clerk, one of Florida's great clerks, he's a study in contrasts, because at the same time that he treasures and honors history, that, as he has demonstrated both through this project and many others, Mr. Shore also, as many of you know, but some of you don't, has been a leader in the state of Florida in courtroom technology use, and had several firsts in his office of e-filing and e-service, and has been a leader in the state in pushing us forward to advance.
And we owe all of this to Mr. Shore. It was his drive and his perseverance, his creativity in finding the funding for this in the middle of a recession. It is truly a marvelous place for all of this community to share for now and generations to come, to bring family and friends to show that this is truly a wonderful community to live in. Mr. Shore made it happen. He pushed us. He pushed the contractors. He made it happen. He made the grounds outside happen. He pushed the renovation of the second floor, this building. It's his vision for the future to leave a legacy, and what a legacy is leaving. Thank you. I thank you for all the community. It truly is something for the next 100 years.
Today is really personal to me, and it's meaningful in the fact that it was a dream and it's gotten done. And I appreciate everything everybody has done to help me do it. We've restored this great room to its turn of the last century grandeur.
Mr. Shores, I do want to thank you for the great job that you have done in restoring this courtroom. For the judges and the attorneys who were fortunate enough to have actually practiced and worked in this courtroom, it means a lot to us personally. At this time, on behalf of the entire judiciary of the 12th Judicial Circuit, this courtroom is officially reopened to serve the people of Manatee County. May God bless all those who enter here, and may justice always be served.